The movie starts with Ra's al Ghul and his grandson Damien watching the members of the League of Assassins as they train. Ra's tells Damien that he is the next demon head. Talia's brother tells Talia that he's glad that their father is showing Damien around. Talia's brother is shot dead, and an attack begins on the League of Assassins. Ra's fights off the intruders, deflecting their bullets with his sword, and runs after them into a building. Talia takes Damien to the back of a pillar, and she goes to join the rest of the League of Assassins in fighting the intruders. The intruders lure Ra's to a room, where Slade appears and starts to fight him. The intruders inform themselves that Ra's is in position and run out of the building. Slade tells Ra's that he is disappointed and that he wasn't made his successor, and that Ra's will suffer for it, and then runs out of the room. A helicopter fires a missile at the building, blowing it up. The fire engulfs Ra's, and he's badly injured and falls outside. Ra's tries to crawl to the Lazarus pit, but Slade stops him and tries to stab him, but he's attacked by Damien. Damien stabs Slade in one of his eyes, but Slade manages to escape with the help of another traitor, Ubu, who Damien recognizes. The intruders leave, and Slade tells Damien that he will come back for his revenge. Damien looks around for Ra's body, and eventually finds him inches from the Lazarus pit, dead. His mother consoles him and tells him they have to leave and that it is time he met his father. Killer Croc is attacked by Batman as he tries to steal mutagens from a warehouse in Gotham City. As he tries to bite Batman, he is electrocuted by Talia, who says she's the only one allowed to bite him. Talia takes Batman to a ship and offers him a drink, which Batman refuses, then reminds her of the last time she drugged his drink and eventually slept with him. Talia smiles and asks whether Batman regrets everything that happened between them that night, to which he answers that he doesn't, but then asks what Talia is doing in Gotham City. Talia tells him of his father's death at the hands of traitors in the League of Assassins. He tells him that she and her son are not safe, then brings Damien out from behind a curtain, telling Batman that this was the result of them sleeping together that night. Batman is skeptical, but Talia assures him that Damien is his. Damien says he expected Batman to be taller. Talia sails off, leaving Damien with Batman. Batman and Damien go to the Batcave. A scientist named Langstrom is working on mutagens for Ra's when his daughter Rebecca comes to call him for dinner. He decides to take a break and eat dinner when his family is attacked by Slade. Slade tells him that Ra's is dead and that he is in charge now. He tells Langstrom to get the mutagen working fast and decides to take his wife Francine and daughter Rebecca hostage until he does. Damien is introduced to Alfred, who brings him to his room. Bruce watches a video of Ra's being revived in the Lazarus pit and expresses how he can't believe that he is dead. The following morning, Bruce prepares for work and asks about Damien. Alfred tells him that Damien has been up since as early as 5 a.m., practicing his swordsmanship by cutting flowers in the yard. Bruce studies him and notes that he has skills. Bruce goes to work and meets Damien in his office. Damien tells him that he has to learn about his birthright. He then tells Bruce that Ubu, one of the men who betrayed his father, is in Gotham, and he intends to find him. But Bruce calls Alfred to drive Damien home without making any stops on the road. Damien tells Bruce that he owes his grandfather a death. Talia and her assassins try to invade Slade's stronghold, but are unsuccessful. Slade captures Talia. Batman goes to question Killer Croc in prison and gets the whereabouts of Langstrom. He goes to the building and is attacked by a mutated gorilla. The gorilla puts Batman through a fall and falls from the building, then becomes unconscious. A drone arrives and blows up the building, but Batman escapes in time. He puts out the fire by blowing up tanks of water next to it. Batman goes to the burned building and picks up a shuriken. Damien goes to attack Ubu when he is with some prostitutes. He beats him up and tells the prostitutes to leave. Ubu runs out of the room, but Damien chases him through the streets. Ubu stops and fights Damien again, but loses the fight. Damien questions him about Slade's whereabouts, but he refuses to answer. Damien is about to slash Ubu with his sword when Nightwing pushes him aside and takes the sword from him. Batman is on his way to the Batcave when he receives a call from Nightwing with cuts all over his body. He tells Batman that he has a kid claiming to be Batman's son. Back at the Batcave, Nightwing and Damian argue, and Damian checks out Robin's costume, but Nightwing tells him there is no way he will be the next Robin. Batman calls the hospital about Ubu's recovery, and Gordon tells him that Ubu is barely breathing. Batman gets angry at Damian and tells him to learn how to control his emotions. He throws Damian the shuriken he picked up earlier and asks whether he recognizes it, but Damian says he doesn't. Batman tells him that it belongs to Slade, and that he is working with Langstrom. He tells Damian that he should follow his command to the letter. Damian becomes the new Robin, and goes with Batman to meet up with Gordon, who shows them a paper they found in Ubu's apartment and what is written on the back, which is Gotham Coliseum. Batman and Robin go there, and Batman remembers how his father used to bring him there when he was little. Robin tries to charge in, but Batman stops him and tells him to be watchful. He then shows him the security cameras in the building and tells him to follow his lead. They sneak into the building and find their way to Langstrom. Langstrom tells Batman that Slade has his family and won't release them until he completes the chemical. Robin, being angry, charges at Langstrom and yells at him to tell him where Slade is, then throws him out of the room. This alerts the assassins and they storm into the room. Batman and Robin manage to beat most of them and escape the room. They are attacked by man-bats but eventually defeat them. Robin finds his way to Langstrom and threatens to stab him when Batman arrives. Batman blindfolds Langstrom and takes him to the Batcave, then questions him. Langstrom tells him about his agreement with Ra's to make a chemical that can turn his assassins into man-bats in order to strengthen his army. He says Slade has taken over and kidnapped his family, using them as leverage over him to make sure he delivers. Batman asks whether he has any clues about their whereabouts, and he tells him that his daughter describes 2 mountains like cat ears. Robin recognizes this place and tells Batman that he knows where it is. Batman tells Langstrom to make antidotes for his chemicals and promises to rescue his family. Slade watches a video of Robin attacking his assassins in Gotham Coliseum and goes to Talia to tell her that he knows that it is Damian. He questions her about Batman, but she refuses to answer. Batman and Robin go to the stronghold but find the place deserted. Batman finds a room filled with blood. They discover a false wall and find Francine and Rebecca. Rebecca hugs Robin and thanks him for saving them. She secretly gives him a phone and whispers in his ear that Slade told her to give him, and that is why he left them. She tells him not to tell Batman. Batman leads Francine and Rebecca out of the room, and Robin watches the video on the phone given to him. Slade tells him to meet him at a location in 48 hours, or else he kills his mother. He tells him to come alone, as this is between him and Damian. Bruce calls Nightwing from London and confirms that Langstrom has been making hundreds of doses of the antidote. He tells Nightwing that he suspects that Slade has Talia. Nightwing tells him that an oil rig of Ra's went active a few days before then, and maybe Slade is there. Bruce discovers that Damian is gone. Damian swims to the oil rig and meets up with Slade near a Lazarus pit. Slade shows him his mother, who has been beat up a lot, and points a gun at her head. Damian points a gun at Slade, but eventually surrenders when Slade threatens to kill Talia. Slade shoots at Damian, but Talia gets in the way, getting shot. Damian hides behind a rock, but Slade keeps shooting at him. Batman arrives on the oil rig and finds his way to where Slade is. He throws a batarang at him, which knocks the gun from his hand. Slade orders the Man-Bats to attack Batman and Robin, but Batman throws out some batarangs, which activate some ultrasonic sounds, confusing the Man-Bats, and they fly out of the underground cave. Slade runs out, and Damian picks up his sword and follows him. Batman picks up Talia and takes her to the Lazarus pit, which revives her. She thanks Batman and then kisses him. The Man-Bats escape from the oil rig and fly towards the city, but are shot by antidotes from Nightwing's jet, which turns them back to humans. Damian and Slade fight, and eventually Damian wins. Slade tells Damian to kill him as he has been trained, but Damian refuses and tells him that he is his father's son as well. He runs back and sees his mother, then hugs her. Batman, Talia, and Damian enter an escape pod, float to the surface, and are picked up by Nightwing's jet as the oil rig collapses. Talia thanks Batman and tells him to follow her, as she wants to rebuild the League of Assassins and make it better, but Batman refuses and tells her that it would be better if the League was disbanded. Talia tells Damian to come with him, but Batman says he is better with him. Talia sees that Damian wants to stay with his father and agrees. She tells Batman to make him great and sails off on a ship. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. If you like this video, please consider subscribing to our channel. I'll be back with another interesting movie recap. Until then, take care.